support the supporters. The second objective is to transfer the good practices. I said that we are an experienced consortium. All of us are either supporters and coordinators, and we have quite extensive experience in implementation of policies and actions. So we try to transfer what we have learned and to establish a coaching scheme and some peer-to-peer interaction between the different covenant supporters and coordinators across Europe. We would like also to assist small and medium cities across Europe to really bring forward their plan and just to start implementing and monitoring their action. And the idea is that all this work will be done to make sure that the policies are secured and institutionalized not only during the project but also after the lifetime of the project itself. Who can get support from Mayors in Action? Well, all of you, covenant supporters and coordinators, even that have not become covenant supporters or coordinators yet, but authorities that are looking into becoming one. They can receive training, they can receive capacity building, peer-to-peer in different forms. It can be workshops, it can be international events, but also, for example, through these kind of webinars. We have a coaching scheme that was specifically launched a couple of months ago, and the idea is that our partners will team up and exchange with other covenant supporters and coordinators outside of the target country. So if you are outside of the countries that I listed before and you are a covenant supporter and coordinator and you would like to explore what we are doing and to exchange with us, please get in touch with us and you can become part of our coaching scheme. We will also support directly 40 municipalities within the target country. What do we offer? Well, we offer methods to accelerate the implementation and the monitoring of the SEAP, which I repeated already several times, and we specifically try to identify feasible technical and financial solutions that can be rolled out in the different countries. We will share a lot of information on opportunities, for example, for funding energy investments. We also will develop and have developed already a tailor-made program, including several typology of trainings and exchanges. I like to point your attention to international coaching and peer-to-peer scheme, what I just said, that you can join, but also European and national training sessions, which happens quite frequently through the years, but also local training sessions within the different countries that I listed. So if you check out our website, there is a training session and an event session. You can be kept up to date on all the different things that we are planning on doing for the upcoming months and the upcoming years. We will also select, actually already are in the process of finalizing this handbook that we have been writing, a selection of 30 actions with different tools and methodologies that are replicable across Europe. So heads up, we will keep you posted on different methodologies and tools that have been already used out and that we can inspire you with. What is coming soon then? Well, as I mentioned, several resources, but also synergies and opportunities. First of all, this handbook that I just mentioned will be available very soon on our website with these sessions of replicable tools. So please do not forget to check out our website very soon. More webinars. The next one that we are planning, among many others, will target several topics. We have one on district heating and cooling that is listed in collaboration with other European projects, but we also have some other webinars, for example, on retrofitting of private households, on retrofitting of public buildings. So just don't forget this appointment monthly. We will always, I think around the third week of each month, we will give you an update on a specific topic with some very good guest speakers that will inspire you and it will teach you about what they have been doing and you can exchange with them. We also were awarded a session during the Open Day, so in October. If you happen to be in Brussels during the Open Day and you want to learn more about the opportunities of local and regional authorities in the Energy Union, please don't forget about Mayors in Action. We will be there. You can also sign up for our mailing list and receive several information. We have some newsletters scheduled and they will be joined with other projects also across Europe, but we will also send you more information on cool resources, cool tools, cool events happening. So sign up for the mailing list to keep updated on what's going on. Last but not the least, today we are talking about how citizens can engage and support local energy action plans. So just some food for thought for you. If you happen to be either from or going to be in Budapest, Prague, or Aalborg in the next weeks, we have a series of workshops organized by the Community Power Project, specifically focusing on how to empower local authorities and their community in guiding the sustainable energy rollout. So very much focusing on initiatives led by the community, both on energy efficiency and on renewable energy generation. So don't forget this opportunity. And if you are in Brussels during the Youth Sustainable Energy Week, you can learn more about this opportunity and challenges across Europe, starting from what we discussed today, what are the potential for investment, what kinds of solutions you can find for your own community, and you can come at our event in Brussels as well. So just to wrap up, I took about 8 minutes as I promised. Thank you very much again for being with us today. I'll invite you again to check out our website. It's full of very good information and opportunities for you. Link with us on Twitter and on Facebook. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. The mayors-in-action@eclay.org is the email address that we use for PR, so please get in touch with us. If you want to talk directly to our coordinator, please get in touch with cittametropolitanadigenova.it. I will send you out the new contact. I might actually get the address wrong because it's brand new. Yeah, keep in touch. It's already on the website. You can talk either to us or directly with the coordinator and try to exchange with us as much as possible. So that said, if nobody has any questions, so I will open the floor. You can raise your hand if you have any question. I saw that the coordinator actually is online with us. Perhaps they want to say a few words. Okay. Can you unmute Miriam, please?
Hi, Miriam.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. We can hear you.
I just wrote the new email address.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I said yeah, I put a D too much in the sentence. Thank you very much, Miriam. Okay, so if there is no other question or any comment or any curiosity that you have, I will move on and ask Irene to start presenting.
Yes, sure. I need to go out sooner than the end, I'm sorry. But I'll check the registration later.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you have any question, please talk to Miriam and talk to us. We are happy to provide you with more information. So, Eleonora, maybe you can pass on the ball literally to Irene.
Hi, Irene. Now you have the ball, so you have the power and you can present your presentation. Maybe I'm muting you, so you can speak and we can hear you.
Okay. Hello,
Irene.
everybody. Can you hear me?
We can. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm Irene. I'm a technician in the Ruby City Council. And first of all, I would like to say sorry because my English is not as good as yours, as Georgia, for example. But I will do my best in order to understand what Ruby is doing in the energy matter. So I will start with the presentation. I will explain you the integrated energy strategy that Ruby is carrying out. But first of all, I want to talk about why is it so strategic to address our efforts to the energy issue. And in global terms, we have to know that since 1950 to nowadays, the world energy demand has increased in 5-fold, while the GDP rate has increased in 7-fold, and the CO2 emissions are now 4 times longer than before. That's logically not sustainable. But the situation will be worse if we know that the 80% of the consumption of the energy is due to only the 30% of the population. So if we know that China, for example, countries like China or India are emerging, the situation could be worse than now. At local level, Spain is a country who has 80% dependence on fossil fuels. That means that we pay each year almost 5,000 million euros to import the energy that we need to consume. Despite we have all the sun that we want, but no matter. We have an unemployment rate that is growing up, while our GDP rate is going down. So the question is, how are we going to resolve our economical situation if we have to pay such a fortune for the energy? In our municipality, at local level, the energy crisis affects everything, the public sector, but also industrial, retail, household sector, and there is an energy poverty problem that is growing. So here you have an example of one of our industry, an important industry that produces donuts to export to Australia. Nowadays, this enterprise called Europastry has to pay the 60% of their production cost to pay the bills, the energy bills. So they are seriously thinking about moving to a cheaper country, and if this occurs, that means that Ruby is going to lose big amount of jobs and also revenues for the city. We have also local businesses that are forced to close because they cannot face the energy bills. And in the household sector, we have that in only 10 years, the energy price has incremented in 80%. So that's the main reason why the energy poverty is growing, not only in Ruby, but in all the country, in all Spain. Well, so for all these reasons, Ruby wants to act, and we have designed a strategy, integrated energy strategy, that focuses the efforts on public sector, industrial sector, retailers, and also in the residential sector. Well, the first step for us, and we recommend all the municipalities to do the same, is to bear in mind that you can manage what you can measure. So it's important that the first step is to start monitoring the spendings monthly and link this information with the available budget. If we do that, we have two important things, two important information. One, the savings achieved month by month, and the other, the forecasted savings at the end of the year. That's important because if you know how much money you will have at the end of the year, you can invest this money in actions addressed to save more energy, and that is called turn the cost into investment. Here you can see some graphs. The first one is the savings achieved by the first year of Ruby Brilla, and we reached 5% savings in the budget, but only implementing non-cost measures. At the second year, we achieved to save 15% of the budget, also, but only implementing non-cost measures. And here you have maybe the most successful project that we are doing. It is called Euronet 50/50, and it is implemented in schools and sports centers. The aim of the project is to increase energy efficiency through behavioral change. So the money that we save thanks to the decrease in the consumption is 50% invested in the school needs, like for example pencils or excursions or something like that, and the other 50% is also for the school, but it has to be invested in actions addressed to continuous saving energy. Now you will understand why this project is so successful. Here you have the results of implementing this project since 2011 to nowadays, and you can see in the first table the result of reduction of electricity consumption, and here you see that despite there are some buildings that are still wasting energy, there are the most that they are reducing their consumption. Especially the first one has reached a reduction of 70%. In average, they reduced 10% savings. If we talk about gas consumption, we can see that the reduction in average of all these public buildings is around 27%. And talking about water, the reduction is almost 30%. All this information, if we turn this information into monetary terms, we can say that Ruby has saved more or less 170,000 euros in 3 years. This is another action that we did. We requested in the last tender to have the electricity supply from 100% renewable sources, and that fact, we think that fact is so important, not only because it's useful for being more sustainable, but also for demonstrating to other people, to other municipalities, that renewable energies aren't more expensive than traditional ones, like most people think, but it's not true. Here you have Macia Cancerra building. We turned this building into a model of green energy, so it is open to all the citizens and students, that they can go and discover that heating and cooling comes from geothermal system, and there is also a photovoltaic pergola that is used not only for charging electric vehicles, but also produces electricity for self-consumption of the building. Well, these are results of the photovoltaic construction. The first table at the top of this slide, you can see the electricity consumption of the building before the construction of the photovoltaic panels. And at the bottom, you have the electricity consumption when the photovoltaic panels were working. The result, the difference between before and after, is 8,000 euros of savings in a year. Then I will talk about the projects in the industrial sector. We have some projects implemented, but all of them are within the triple helix model. That means to work cooperatively with the university and the companies by exchanging knowledge and technology. We have developed a project with the Catalan Cartographic Institute and also with the Polytechnical University that consists in taking aerial thermography photos. The first photos were taken at 12 o'clock at night and the second ones at 6 a.m. The difference between the first photos and the second shows the heat loss through the roof. And so we can divide the companies in high, medium, or low efficiency. All this information, these results, is available in internet in a page called InstaMaps. And so any company can know their efficiency and decide if they want to invest in improvements for insulation. The other project in the industrial sector is this one. We take advantage of the images from the other project and we calculate the solar potential of each industrial building. And so the enterprises also can enter to InstaMaps in internet and check how many photovoltaic or thermal panels they can install in their buildings, but also they can know how much it costs, how long is the payback period, and so on. The aim of this project is to increase the enterprise competitivity by doing energy self-consumption. And now I want to talk about the retail sector, the project that we did. We have just finished it, and the project consisted in auditing the shops in energy efficiency, waste management, and products. After the audits, we gave them advice and training to improve their sustainability, and also we gave them some help for investing in changing the less efficient lighting for LED. After that, we audited them again and gave them a brand of ruby, gold, silver, or bronze, depending on their sustainability level. And finally, I would like to talk about the project focused or addressed to the residential sector. We have a great project called Ruby Brilla Community, where there are 100 families participating. These families have received an in-home energy meter, a monitor, and a mobile application that offers them information about their consumption in real time. They received also tailored advice about how to reduce their consumption. And the results in 1 year of project is that the families, have managed to save 15% of the electricity energy. To save energy consumption by 15% in a single home, maybe it's not significant in global terms, but we have to think or to imagine that if each European home
reach to save the 15% of their energy, we could represent the closure of 40 nuclear power plants. And that's very, very important. Finally, the last project I would like to explain is addressed also to the citizens, but the objective of this project is to help people who cannot deal with the high cost of the energy bills. So we work together with the Department of Social Services in order to find the most critical families and help them by auditing their homes, giving them advice of how to save energy with non-cost measures like behavior changes or better adjustment of contracted power and so on. And the results are, so far, we have invested about 190 euros per family in improving insulation and lighting, and the result is the potential saving average for each family is more than 200 euros per year and per family. And that's all. These are our media channels where you can follow the latest news of Ruby Brilla, our new projects, all the results in time and online. And finally, our slogan. And that's all. If you have any question or something that you didn't understand, you can ask.
Hello. Thank you very much, Irene. Just the time to unmute myself. That was really interesting. I would like to open the floor for questions immediately. We have about 15 minutes, 20 minutes for questions now, so I'd like to make the most out of it. Please just raise your hand and we can unmute you. Alternatively, you can just send us your questions via chat. While we wait for someone to be inspired in asking questions, I have access to the microphone myself. So I just wanted to ask you, your presentation was very comprehensive and you really decided to target different stakeholders. They overall actually a quite wide range of them. I was wondering, how did you decide that it was so important to engage them all, and how long did it take? And if somebody has never done something like that, or just is doing just baby steps towards that, what is the first recommendation that you would give? What are the essential things to consider when you want to start engaging your stakeholders in such a broad way?
Well, for us is important, is vital to engage all the municipality, not only citizens, but industrial, retailers. But it is true that it's not easy to engage 4 years of life.
Perfect.
And
sorry. So I see a question from Jessica. And the question is, how much did the project Ruby Brilla cost for the municipality? And did all the investment come from the municipality budget or some external funds?
Well, now we have we don't have all the numbers, economical numbers, but the important thing is that we started the first year in 2011 and 2012 only with non-cost measures. So without cost and in inversion. And with this money saved in the first and second year, we invest in other projects, but in global terms, or finally, the results are that savings are greater than the cost, the investment. To the question of if the money comes only from the municipality or comes from abroad, we only have one project that we developed thanks to the European Fund. That is retail, the project in the retail sector. We have money from Remida project, from MET program, and thanks to that we can invest in changing the lighting of the 40 retailers that engage in this project. And, okay, another thing more. If you want, I can send to you an Excel file with all the numbers, the inversion and the savings since 2011 to nowadays, and you will see in this Excel file all the invest and savings.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Irene. So I'm asking again, is there any other question from anybody? Otherwise, I would like to hear from you guys. What have you been doing in your cities? I can see that there are several partners of the Mayors in Action Consortium among the attendees. For example, some very experienced partners such as CRES or the city of Zagreb. Perhaps the city of Zagreb can tell us a little bit about their engagement in their communities, if they would like. Maybe, I think Melita can probably speak, but I'm not sure if you can speak.
Hi, Melita. We can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Hi.
No. Regarding the stakeholders, you know that in May we have Zagreb Energy Week, and that is an excellent opportunity to have a connection with all levels. So I understand that stakeholders is very important, that they have to act during all year and think about energy efficiency, not only to put some hard measure in their buildings, but also to develop their conscience and conscience of employees and other users in that buildings. So I think that is the most important to doing regarding the stakeholders. Using all sources what they have. It's not only about ordinary citizens, but also involve experts, to chambers, architecture chambers actually, to involve universities to act in that, and also their students, energy agencies as well, and institutions like Institute Herbert Potter. So multi-level connection, I think, is the most important for being successful. Yeah. And that is really well for the Albert Einstein, doing the something over and over again and expecting different results. That's true. Trying and trying, we are going ahead.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, then while we wait for Paul to join us, I can walk you a little bit through what this presentation will be about and tell you some first points about the potential of engaging communities in not just being passive consumers or energy savers, for the consumer of energy, but also in the way that they can create added value at local level. So I mentioned it before in my presentation when I invited you all to join us for this event that will deal mostly with how communities can support sustainable energy rollout. The Community Power Project is a project that specifically looks into the potential of creating better legal frameworks to enable community-led initiatives to actually support the development of more sustainable energy at local level. This project focuses on supporting specific countries, but there are several guidelines that have been distributed and prepared for many more stakeholders at the European level. The main idea is that not only citizens can contribute through purchasing green energy, but it can also help in producing some. And there are several formats and models for that, some of which we will see then in Paul's presentation. It can take the form of a cooperative, for example, but in many cases there are a lot of interesting examples, for example, of municipalities that have decided to join forces with parents or group of citizens. For example, retrofitting the roof of a school so that it can hold solar panels, and then whatever energy saving come through the process of generating renewable energy is reinvested within the school. So I'm not only talking about initiatives that are run outside of the local authorities, but also things that can be done together to support that. So citizens' initiatives and cooperatives. What we are trying now to focus on in this project is also try to understand how cooperatives or groups of citizens can work more efficiently on energy efficiency. For example, instead of just reinvesting in buying appliances for the school, one of the options could be for example, trying to retrofit the building itself, proceeding with the insulation, for example, and to ensure a better quality of life and of study, actually, for the pupils that are inside of the school itself. Each country has very much its own way of doing things, but it's particularly important to try to engage citizens as much as possible. We also know that one of the main things that hinders the development and the implementation of the sustainable energy actions that have been decided by to be implemented by the local level is the fact that they run out of money. So, of course, engaging citizens that are willing to invest from one side ensures a better understanding and less, let's say, objections to the installation, for example, of renewables, but also it allows to leverage this kind of investments that normally would not be available. Furthermore, having a large company that invests in the local territory sometimes is not seen as something that is very well accepted by the citizens. But if you have a share in this windmill or in this solar plant that you actually have in front of you, of course, the overall acceptance will definitely be much higher. We have a set of model legislation that have been developed, and I'm happy to point you out to it, to have a look at it and to see if these kind of examples could be reflected in your own country. And specifically, we have zoomed in through Mayors in Action into one case that is actually was awarded the best community energy example in the UK, and I'm talking about Bath, that was supposed to be with us today. I can tell you a couple of things about it, and maybe it will give you a motivation to look at our compendium of tools, our handbook altogether. I can try to upload the PDF so you can also see some nice pictures. Perhaps Eleonora can help me with that.
Yes, just one update. Meanwhile, I can read Carmen's question about the Ruby case.
Okay, so please then do that, and I will upload the PDF in the meantime.
Okay. So yes, Carmen doesn't have a microphone today, so I'm just going to read it out loud. Are you thinking of working with the possibility of expanding the model of Ruby community to the retail sector by using the app and the smart meters with the retail sector? Probably the retail sector is a difficult one to reach. Is that so? So, yeah, Irene, if you want to add something. I'm going to unmute you.
I don't understand. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. So, are you thinking of working with the possibility of extending the model of Ruby community to the retail sector by using app and smart meters with the retail sector? Probably the retail sector is a difficult one to reach. Is that so? That's Carmen's question.
Okay. Yes. Actually, we are working to extend the Ruby community to the retail sector, but it's not as easy as you can think, because we have the necessity to install a smart meter in the between the I don't know the name, the electrical counter. Do you know what I mean? The smart meter in in your home or the retail sector. The problem that we have is that we cannot have directly the data of the electricity consumption. We are obligated to put another tool to extract the data and send us by Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. And the problem is that this tool is not working, is difficult to install and so on, and so we want to press or to fight against the oligopoly, the electric enterprises here, because they don't want to give us the information of these smart meters. I don't know if you have understand all that.
I can see that Carmen has a microphone now, so Carmen, if you want to add something or ask something more specific, please feel free to unmute yourself. I can try to unmute you if you want to add something more, Carmen. No. Okay. So yes, thank you very much.
Good. And then I will continue to entertain you. Well, it's actually, well, you're going to have 3 presentations on the price of 2, which is even better. So I was mentioning before this idea of having a little bit of an overview, some food for thought on what it was the first presentation that we had selected from this award-winning project in Bath, UK. Hopefully we will have the chance to hear from them in the future. But the case study specifically as the methodology as such was included within our handbook that will be published in the upcoming weeks. So you can of course learn more about it in the next future. Basically, the city of Bath has long time ago decided to start kicking off the entire development of the Sustainable Energy Action Plan. They have a quite strong collaboration with the transition group that is based in Bath. The transition group works on overall sustainability, but they have several specific groups that work on several topics. And the Bath and West Community Energy Group has decided to start working together. This group is a BENCOM, which is a community benefit society, so sort of a charity structure, and it was funded in 2010 to deliver renewable energy, energy efficiency, and energy supply by maximizing local investments and building community resilience within the local region. So basically, the city of Bath decided that building upon resolutions that they had in the past within the council to actually work with several transition groups, they would like also to invest in what a transition group is doing. When I asked why they were thinking about doing that, the answer was actually quite direct. What working with transition groups allows is to retain about 70 or 80% of the sum that is normally generated through the investment in this kind of models in the local level. So it's not just about having clean energy, it's not just about reducing emission, but it's also about really a very much economical way of approaching things. They have several kinds of collaboration with this transition group. From one side, they install solar panels on schools. Like I said, the council, for example, is the landlord of these buildings, and it provides with the possibility of installing these systems directly on the roofs of the schools. But also they do the same on the council energy offices, and this is again to build upon what we were saying before, the importance that the municipality is not only participating to or promoting these kind of policies, but it is actually really showcasing on itself, leading by example on this kind of actions. And the most recent investment that the city has made directly is a loan that they gave to this group of £500,000 to set up a solar farm, a project which cost will be 2.6 million pounds, so a quite large investment. And the idea is that of course the loan is a loan, so there is some interest. The interest is actually a commercial rate, and it will be repaid in 15 years to the council itself. So this way, some of the income they will return will feed into more community energy projects and more into this community fund that was set up to make sure that you can demonstrate really an added value at local level. Maybe you can see that from my presentation over there. There are several other community initiatives. There are for example, also an energy efficiency scheme that was developed by the city of Bath, the Bath Green Homes, where they go directly to the citizens, and they have even an open homes weekend where citizens can go into houses that have been retrofitted and have a better idea of what kind of measures have been implemented, and they can touch and feel themselves what is the result of such retrofits. The stakeholders that were involved in all this process are mostly, as I said, three. Well, from one side, the Bath and North East Somerset Council, they formally support this kind of initiative. From the other side, the Bath Transition Group and the Bath West Community Energy, which is this group that then actually prepares and set up these projects. Among the many tips and recommendations that they have shared with us, again, engage your community. It makes sense. You can ask your citizens to back you up and to support you in projects that maybe sometimes would not be as accepted. Instead, you invest locally, so you generate also local added value, more employment for your citizens that are cooperating there, but also the money stays within the community instead of being dispersed outside and purchasing energy outside, for example. And it kind of fosters also regional added value because you cooperate with the municipalities around you, with a larger entity, so you can really create some more wealth that is not just about money, but it's also about cooperation. It's also about teaching to your citizens and to the children, for example, in your schools, what is the future, what is the most sustainable future. Unfortunately, I do not have more information than this, but I'm happy to share with you more information and resources. I think you can probably see the two links over there. Otherwise, I think it will be easy for you to just check our handbook when it will be online. Maybe you have some questions. I don't know if I can answer to all of them, but I can certainly take note of them. Nobody has any questions? Okay. Thank you very much then. I will do a final try to call our missing speaker. And I will be exploiting Irene again. I'm sorry. Maybe Irene, you can just, give us some concluding remarks from your presentation, something that you think it should be the lesson learned that people can take with themselves after this event. Just a couple of minutes.
I can also add or read out loud to comments from Jessica's side, also on the Ruby's case. So Jessica says the example of Ruby municipality is really useful. In Italy, local administrations are facing strong economic difficulties in their budget. It would be useful to receive further example of such kind of projects. And also, the province of Latina is working to become a covenant territorial coordinator, as such kind of actions and projects will be more probably adopted from local administrations which can't invest so much. So that was a comment from Jessica. Maybe Jessica, you want to add something more? Or otherwise, Irene, you can sort of sum up what you said in your presentation and tell us what we can learn from your case and give us some food for thought. Irene, please. You're unmuted.
Well, answering what Jessica says, I can send you an Excel file that for us is very useful because we use it in order to know how where to concentrate our efforts and not to do all projects at the same time, because maybe you are wasting your energy and not receiving good results. So in this Excel that I said is the Pareto system, that what we did is to put all the spending or the monitoring in all our public buildings and find which buildings are the most or have the high energy consumption, because doing that, putting in order the most consuming ones, and then at the bottom the less consuming, we can see that only with 20% of the public buildings are consuming the 80% of the total energy in the municipality. So the conclusion is to address the effort only in these 20% of the buildings. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That you are. I suggest not to monitoring all the public buildings because it could be expensive and not useful. I recommend only to monitor these ones which are the most consumers. And another thing that I would like to highlight is that for us the first step is to implement non-cost measures, like changing the behavior of citizens or or municipal workers in order to turn off the lights when they are not needed, to turn off the air conditioning when it's not needed, because it seems to be tontería. It seems to be logical, but we see that there are too much buildings doing that, wasting energy at night when nobody is in the building and the air conditioning is working, the lights are working. So only doing that or things like that, you can save a lot of energy and money, and then invest this money in another measures, but with little period, with little payback period. This is for us the secret. Our secret is to be logical, to do easy things, but concentrate the efforts where, common sense. Concentrate the efforts where they are needed, and then the results will be greater. It's our experience, and I'm sure that it could be useful for all of you.
Thank you very much. Indeed, it's very important to start from little steps, easy steps to achieve great results. So thank you for your inspiring presentation. It was very clear, very straightforward. And
yes, I will send you the Excel file in order that you can see what to how to detect which are the buildings that are wasting the most, and then decide to put the efforts only in these buildings. Okay?
Sure. Thank you. So yes, send us the exercise, and we can send it to whoever might be interested in having more information on this.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
I will send also my contact if you have any more questions, because I can explain myself better by writing, not so well speaking.
Don't worry, you are very clear. You are very clear. But okay, so thank you. We will wait for your material to come.
Okay.
Okay. I understand from Eleonora that Paul is finally with us. I will ask you all to use the feedback tool, please, and to give him a round of applause.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
Okay, apologies everyone. I'll just get started straight away. I'm going to talk a little bit about our experience in Tipperary, and there's a picture on the first slide there of our construction still in its demand, but we have a lot of other community energy projects that we're working on. I'll give you a bit of an overview of them, and then maybe some lessons that I think people should incorporate in their own plans. So, retrofit or energy saving is a key process of a community energy solution where we reduce the amount cost of energy and energy use. And we have worked with two communities, one in Tipperary and one on the island of Portugal, where the communities come together and put the buildings together. And what essentially happens is the community analyzes their own energy use on a well-known basis. And then together they employ one contractor, employ a project manager, and quality control, and they deliver the financial support, and support or loan requirements and so on together. And what that really does is it allows each individual homeowner to understand their energy use, but also the wider community cost of importing a lot of fossil fuels or importing a lot of energy into the region. And they then see that the solution also provides jobs in their locality. They feel good about supporting their economy, but also they can see the difference in their pockets. So you get the individual benefit and the community benefit at the same time. And it's been widely disseminated and researched in the UK the community benefit significantly increases the rate of retrofit uptake. And also you get all the learning in terms of people appreciating that for renewables. There's a number of different communities, renewable, and lots of different models. Obviously there are things that are needed to enable it in terms of access to commercial grid, supportive planning process. So one of the things that local municipalities can do is they can support the planning process more than they might normally do with an external developer or a commercial developer, so they make sure that the community has some of the answers to a planning question as fairly as possible and therefore cheaply as possible. So it seems like that would be an inappropriate place to put renewable energy development. Would be good things in our communities in the very early stage. They know exactly where not to, where they could put a renewable energy installation. Obviously, the government support, so there's a decent set of support scheme. Most commercial developers will use capital market fund projects. Usually should be exactly the same. They've all loaned off the bank. So don't do grant support. Think about first of all the support in terms of organising the finance, organising the organising consent, and support people with experts on how to do that rather than support for capital costs. Okay, let me just think a little bit about why we look at the economic impact of community-owned facilities. Basically, almost tripling of benefits to locality when it's owned locally. And that's really the principle that this 85,000 on the graph that you can see, that's the cost of the machine. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about community income, and maybe there's some bonus experts on the call, but you see the provision of heat as a key method of localizing renewable energy sources and localizing energy sources. And really, so some of the lessons that we have started to learn from Denmark, and we would not be experts, is all about ensuring people own their own infrastructure and not necessarily have it owned by a third party, and also that the heat is provided on a non-profit basis, so essentially the economic load as the project is now made more economically attractive, it lowers the overall cost of the system. So that we have learned from, and our learning is that if you can engage people's own pension funds, people's own savings, that we can provide an attractive socio-economic model, or economic model for people to spend in their own savings, it's quite useful. So one of the questions I was asked is what are the discrepancies between the Ireland? And one of the things that is interesting in Ireland, and maybe this is reflected in other regions, and certainly it probably is we have common days the people that pay for their energy. So there are some things that people think about. Obviously that has a lot of impact on the big impact on that, especially for engaged. So we have found that considering that engaged on any project, a technician engaged on overall issues the wind energy that we start to deal with socio-economic energy. Okay, so one of the things I think it's important to do in terms of municipalities and local communities being supported is to raise the level of debate about energy, because when people engage about energy in their community and look at the flows of money behind energy, the jobs and the socioeconomic development, they will make the right decisions. And even the licensing government transition plan, they did the same thing. They tried to engage many citizens, and everyone came up with more or less the same idea that fossil fuels from unstable regions of the world are not something that most local communities want to continue to do, and they will all start black once engaged. The real challenge is trying to get them to do this. Okay, so one of the things I think just to summarize is draft supports that training and guidance, having local coordinated expert approach where you've got someone in the municipality or region to help people, they understand energy use and develop energy projects, removal of the structural barriers in terms of ensuring that people, when they have need to access natural goods that supply electricity, that they have a reasonably simple process of doing that, and also any financial support will be targeted at the key issues in the development. So be it targeted at the organization or the planning process or the technical guidance rather than capital costs. Have a long-term plan, have kind of recognition. So the first slide there is our government has now recognized and are putting together a white-paper new energy policy, community energy plan, which is very good. But we feel that needs to also have a plan in the community, and I think we need to have a plan in the community and look at the barriers and the objectives. Really, one of the only other things that maybe I haven't spoken about is tax incentives. So there are many tax incentives already for different investments for different things, be it businesses or renovation in particular areas, but maybe a tax incentive for community energy or locally owned energy would be a good policy. That's essentially the last slide I have. I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much. I know that we are already over our time. It has been a pleasure to have you with us. We will publish on our website, in the Mayors in Action website, the recording of this webinar and all the presentations. I will also put a link to the file that I showed you on Bath. So if you want to explore further what is happening in other parts of the country, I would be gladly putting you in touch with the people in the municipalities over there. So I'll thank you once again for your participation, and I'll close now the webinar. Thank you very much to the speakers. Thank you very much, Irene, for your support and presentation. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the future and to keep you updated with new topics. If I'm not wrong, next month it should be energy efficiency in private buildings. So we will send you an invitation. Hopefully we will see you again next time. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you very much.